Okay, so I'm having such a difficult time defeating the Penguin Man that I've decided to take matters in my own hand and utilize a little bit of a cheat, a little bit of a glitch that the game designers decided to leave in. I guess for whatever reason they decided it was a good idea to leave in the game. So I'm going to exploit that and make sure that you realize that it is part of the game. It's not something you can't do without like a hacking device or like a cheating screwdriver or something so similar to that you couldn't open up your game console cartridge and do it yourself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that to my advantage and beat the game, because I have been having such a difficult time with Mr. Penguin here that he really deserves a thrashing, and I'm going to deliver that thrashing to him. So I guess with all of that being said, welcome to SparkleDart. I'm here to give you a little bit of a rundown on how to defeat the Penguin Man without doing it, I guess, legitimate, upright. You know, it's really easy to do if you know what you're doing. So check this out. I'm going to give him a complete thrashing. Like I said, he's not going to know what hit him. What will have been hitting him will have been a little space starship that I am now. Check that out. That took only 20 seconds to do. That took like no time at all. So after all that, I've got it in the bag. You know what I'm saying? We've established already that he does not deserve the time it takes to defeat him, because in the remake of this game, which is for the handheld purple device, he is much easier to fight. I don't know why they made him much more difficult to fight in the earlier game. If they was going to make a remake of it and make it more difficult, why not make the remake of it more difficult? I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense to a person such as me who has sensibilities like that. You know what I'm saying? So, if that were the case, I would just hope to the G's, man, upstairs, that they could make things a little bit more fair for me, but I guess that's not the case. I'm going to have to do this upright. I'm going to be the guy who does this as a stand-up man, except for the part where I fight the Penguin. The Penguin, you know, he's not the final boss. It turns out he's actually only defending the fountain that you're trying to protect from being cursed by nightmares and whatever it is that the story tells you, all the bullshit that it feeds you in the beginning of the game or the end of the game. I don't remember what part of the story they decided it's okay to start feeding you actual content. It doesn't make sense to me what they were doing in the first place. If they were going to tell you how to beat the game, I don't know why they didn't just say that for the manual. You could read the manual yourself if you wanted to read the game manual. They would tell you how to beat it, and then you could just leave it up to speculation when you want to find out how to make sure you can do it upright, if you really can. If you just want to beat the game without even really giving any sort of regard to what it takes to be someone who, I guess, would be an upstanding gentleman, somebody who can get hit by a story ball and not die from it right away like I did, because that was my own mistake. I made that mistake, and I'm not ashamed to admit that I am a person who makes mistakes. You know, I'm a guy. I'm a human like you. We're all human. We all make mistakes like that. One time you went to go pick up your date at like maybe 6 p.m., but actually what she said was 8 p.m., but you got the numbers mixed up because 6 and 8 look similar, even though she spoke them out loud. It's like, thought I read down 6 right, I don't know, and then you show up at 6 and she's not even home. You're like, maybe she's out with some other guy, she's got another date, and then you go out dilly-dallying around to maybe some sort of Mexican restaurant where they serve tortillas, taco shells, and you're like, okay, well, I'll just wait here until then, and then I'll get some tequila shots, like some Patron or something so similar to that. But you find out that Patron is like $8 a pop for like even a shot. And if you want to get Patron, if you want to buy Patron for yourself, it costs you like $56 for a bottle of it, which is the same size as a bottle of anything else, except it just costs more. Like Jack Daniels, it costs maybe like $22, or Fireball whiskey, it costs you like $14 if you go to the right store for it. You know, some stores will charge you more for it than others will, and if you go to a store that charges you more than it's worth, then that's your own goddamn fault for falling for such an obvious trap. You know, what are you doing? It's your own fault. I'm not going to fault you for it, but if you do take responsibility, then I guess it's up to you to decide whether or not it makes sense for you to be the person who is man enough to admit when he is wrong. So if you're going to go to a Mexican restaurant and order tacos until your date shows up, then you're kind of asking to be criticized by the staff, because the staff will almost certainly be Mexican people. Like, just ask my mom and my sister who go out to Mexican restaurants all the time. They always get hit on by staff who turns out to be somebody who used to work in a taco van. Not even a couple of weeks before that, they were working in St. Juan's taco van at 56th and 9th. And they got real good tacos there, probably better than like Taco Bell, Taco John's, any other taco place you go to. They got better tacos than those places, and that's only because they care more about the ingredients that they use. They're more aware of their customers, the people who go and eat tacos at their restaurants. And if you are a person who does so, then just be sure to know that eating tacos at a fancy van restaurant is not the same as eating tacos at like a fancy gourmet restaurant. Because if you're eating tacos at a gourmet restaurant, then you're eating tacos at somewhere where they actually prepared the art. They studied the art. They didn't learn it from some sort of hand-me-down family recipe. And because of that, it makes more sense for you to appreciate the things that they do for you. Now, it is difficult for a standalone taco van restaurant to, you know, make a name for themselves, especially if they're just trying to sell you their product, which it could be that their product is inferior or it's just more convenient for you. Like if you lived right next to where they parked a taco van on some sort of empty parking lot, then you're eating tacos at a place where people have just kind of given up on their dreams. They realized owning a van is much cheaper than owning a restaurant or something so similar to that. Now, the thing is that taco vans, they usually park themselves on parking lots that have been bought out by whichever company owned the rights to the company that lived there or that functioned there before. You know, they're a company. That's what they're there for. They're there to make money first and foremost. If they can't make money off of you and what you're doing, then they're going to give up. And hold on, this is okay. I really hope I don't croak here in the next couple of seconds. If I croak, then it's going to be my own goddamn fault for wasting all your time here. It's not my own issues. There we go. That's the one. That's what I was hoping for. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much, so much. So, I apologize for cheating when I fought the penguin. I was sick of his antics. I got the laser sight ability that let me to shoot him in the penguin face, but he kept jumping at me with his hammer, and I'm like, well, I don't want to deal with this. I fought penguins before. Penguins are supposed to be docile, innocent creatures. They're supposed to be nice and thoughtful and friendly, but this penguin ain't so friendly, and I really wanted to just make sure that I knew that I was up against the challenge that I could take on my own. I didn't want to put myself up to anything that wasn't appropriate for me, my own skill abilities. I played this game before, like I said, I played this on the Game Boy Advance, the purple one. I had a translucent purple one. It wasn't quite opaque like the Game Boy Color had, but it was translucent, so it was like you could kind of see its internals, but not so much as if you had the Game Boy that had the same sort of functionality. And that was the one that I had. It was called Atomic Purple, and I had a Game Shock for it, and a worm light. A worm light was the light that attached to the link cable port, but it could bend in such a way that the light could be positioned in any position where you could look at the camera and not be like, well, that's amazing, I can see what's going on here, and I don't have to second guess myself. It's not like it's something that I was hoping I would have to do for so frequently, but you know what, thank you for affording me this opportunity. It's my own personal treat to be able to have you bestow this upon me, so thank you. Anyways, I was talking about cell phones or landlines, probably at some point, I don't know, I'm sure I didn't finish my thought because I ramble on so much. I'm a fucking idiot. That's what I do. I'm SparkleDart. I'm an idiot. I guarantee you that I'm an idiot. So cell phones are more convenient for people who have things to do, things to go, places to see, people to be. And if you're just going to... Satoru Iwata. Thank you. Hold on. Wasn't Satoru Iwata the president of Nintendo right now, and not Shigeru Higashioka or Hayao Miyazaki or one of those fellows. I don't remember the names because I, you know, spent so much time caring so little about what they did that I was like, whatever, I'm not gonna pay attention. I don't know. It's all the same to me. So, you want to hear me sing for a little bit? Do da do 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 da do da do boo ba do boo ba do boo boo ba do ba do ba ba do bow bow. Sweet Caroline, a ba ba ba. The sweet times never felt so good, so good, so good, so good. I hope that was enough for you, because I don't feel like singing more. You know, I sang a lot in the past. I used to be in show choir. I wore fancy, sparkly red vests with gold cummerbunds on them, and I didn't really like to wear those so much, so I quit show choir. I was like, you know what, I'm done with this. Thank you for making me feel like I'm somebody, but really, it just doesn't stand out to me. I'm somebody who likes to hold a lot of pride in myself. I've got a lot of thoughts, ideas, opinions, and I would just like to make it known that when I'm doing this, I'm kind of degrading myself, being in show choir, singing things like, my Bonnie lies over the ocean. What is that? That's trash. That's I don't want to sing that. That makes me feel like a fucking, like a Queen Mary, and I don't want to be a Queen Mary. So if you're going to Queen Mary me out on the court, then please just let me die. I would never wish this on my greatest foe, you know what I'm saying? So, I guess that was the whole thing. I cheated to fight the penguin, and then I fought the man in space, and I died. Did I die? I don't remember if I died or not, but if I didn't die, then thank you for noticing, keeping count. I don't know how many times I died. I got 3 lives. I must have only died 1 time, and that one time was my own fault. I died on the Spaceball starring Rick Moranis and Joan Rivers, my favorite actors and actresses of all time. So, yeah, thank you for checking out SparkleDart's Kirby Adventure Battle. I appreciate you not calling out the fact that I cheated to fight the boss, and just enjoying it, you know. So please, 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 don't tell anybody. Don't tell your mom. Please, thank you. Goodbye, SparkleDart. Mwah. Mwah. Bye.